Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I say that a lot. I say so many times. Today we're gonna be dabbling in, and I know a lot of people have made a video about this before, but I'm kind of excited and I wanted to do my intake on it. So it's of the Huda Beauty new Nudes palette. It's a little bit hard to say for a sec. I ordered this probably a week ago? Yeah, a week ago, and I didn't touch it yet, and I'm super excited to play with it. I was very hyped about with like all of the advertising and all that stuff. It's very beautiful. I wanted to play around with it and show you guys kind of an eyeshadow look that I'm gonna do with it and talk to you guys about the quality and the price and all that stuff. So this is as if like you're gonna buy it online or at the store or something. This is basically what it's gonna look like when you buy it yourself. But it comes in like a plastic little, almost like a little case. So this you can actually keep if you want to. I would keep this like if you're traveling and you don't want your like palette to get like spilled on, because this you can easily wipe stuff off. And I like the fact that it's still like decorated really cute, so you can keep that. The palette's more of like a cardboard. It's the classic, kind of reminds me of like the BH Cosmetics, or a lot of brands will have this kind of material, like cardboard material. But I do like how it has a very like shiny finish where it says Nude. And then the Huda Beauty is more like metallic-y, as well as the new in between the Nude. So yeah, I like that. It's very beautiful. I love the picture behind it. It really draws your attention. Also, I really like how it has kind of that pinky nudes. So when you open it, it comes with a little same material as this. It's like a little picture of what the front picture looks like. For this, I'm assuming it's meant to cover the shadows and keep it fresh, you know. But I do like how it's a picture, so it's something you can even keep, something you can even just use as like a little like piece of art that you could keep in your room or hang up. I think it's really cute. I appreciate the fact that it has a huge mirror, so I love that. But when you open it, it's so pretty. So it has more like mauves and pinky, like nude tones, rather than your dark browns or light browns or more like orange colors. This is more like peachy, pink, mauve toned, which I'm a fan of. This kind of reminds me of along the lines of the theme of the Naked 3 palette, I believe, where it was more pinkish. However, I love how it has different shimmers in it and different glitters. On their website it says there are 10 pigmented matte eyeshadows, which I can see that all here. There's quite a few mattes, which I appreciate. With these mattes, it says that they are formulated with aloe vera and coconut oil to help with an easier application. So that's pretty cool. And then we have 2 glitter shadows. These are more of like the classic glitter that you usually see in other palettes. Also in the palette, it comes with 4 reflective shades. So right here, these 4 right here. It also says they have shimmering pearl-like flecks. I'm really curious how they're gonna lay on the lid, because a lot of times with shimmers, it's a little bit hard to get that pigmentation, or you might have a lot of fallout, so we'll see. These 4, I don't think I've ever seen in another palette before. Let's play with it. Let's see how the pigmentation works out. Let's see if it's really worth your money, if you could go without it, if you could find something cheaper. It does retail for $65, and just the whole theme of this really draws my attention if you are a fan of like pinks and kind of neutrals, but like want to have that option of doing a little bit shimmer to be kind of like spontaneous, or add a pop of color. You can definitely use these to your advantage. Also, another interesting thing that I've never seen in an eyeshadow palette before is concealer. So this last little square right here is for concealer. Obviously it could be used for cutting your crease, or I believe eyebrow. That is a little concern to me just because not everyone is this color. If you were, I mean, if you were concealing to cut your crease, it doesn't really matter, but if you're using it underneath the brow, it could be too light for more darker skin tones. So it could be an issue, I don't know, but for cutting the crease, this is fine. I think it's very interesting that she would add that in her palette. It's very handy too as well, that way you don't have to get concealer. There are 17 eyeshadows and 18 little squares including the concealer. So you get a pretty good amount of different colors and I think that's really fun. So let's get into it. I hope that's in focus. I zoomed you guys in a little bit just so you can watch me play with the eyeshadow, kind of see a little bit of the pigment. So we're gonna go in with this shade Play. So it's right here, it's kind of this peachy pink shade right here. We're gonna use that as our crease shade. So far it's picking, my brush is picking up a lot of product. So let's see. I mean, to be honest, so far I'm not really seeing anything. I'm seeing a light pink color. It's cute, but let's see. It's not bad. It's pretty blendable. I think this shade is just a lighter shade, so it's not going to be really, really pigmented. However, it's blending out pretty well. I don't really have to work that hard to blend it up the crease. A little bit of fallout, but not crazy. Let's go in with Tickle. So it's directly, it's directly underneath Play. We're gonna go for more of the mauve color, like pinkish mauve. So what I'm thinking is I wanna either use one of these pearl shimmer shadows, either that one. We'll figure it out. Let's tap into Tickle a little bit. Play with that shade. This shade has a little bit more fallout. This one's definitely more pigmented. I love this shade. This shade's really pretty. So far these shadows are beautiful. They're extremely easy to blend. You don't need to like rub your eye raw with your shadow brush trying to make sure it's all blended out. You just use more of a light hand when you work it into your crease. Windshield wiper motions. This would be cute to use for like Valentine's Day too. They're like really sweet. This palette reminds me of just very sweet and innocent. I don't know if I'm just not used to having really good quality makeup. This is just, it's super simple. Okay, I'm kind of blown away. Okay, then we're gonna dip into Raw, which is right here. This is kind of more, leaning more towards a purple, a mauve purple. We're gonna work that a little bit more deeper into the crease to kind of deepen it up even more. I wanna see how dark I can make it if you wanted to turn this into a night look. Also, a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to submerge your brush into the shadow because it's all, ooh. Hello. Okay, I see. The pigment is there. We're gonna go in with the shade right next to it. It's called Tease. So this is even more of like a mauvey purple. This one's more of like a, almost like a plum shade, like a toned down plum shade. So we're gonna take some of that on more of a precise blending brush so that we can really focus it more directly in the crease, but still blend it out and make it look nice. So I kind of want to do the cut crease now. We'll see how this goes on camera because I like to get really, really close, so we'll see. But we're gonna use the concealer that it comes with, and we're gonna use that to cut the crease and see how that works. The concealer is really creamy, however is very sheer. It seemed like at first it was going on pretty opaque, but the more you blend it out, it's very sheer. I don't know about you guys, but when I cut my crease, like I want it to be like very like cut. So this is a little bit harder. Like with this, I still cut it, however, it seems really, really sheer. So I mean, it's not necessarily a big issue, it's just for me personally, I like to see more like coverage in a concealer in a way. We're gonna go in and play with Daydream for the cut crease. We're gonna see how pigmented it is. We'll see if it actually covers the whole lid. I'm gonna take this little baby brush and we're just gonna pick some up. Oh my gosh, oh, it's so weird. For some reason I thought it was just gonna like have like little chunks fall out, but no, it's packed really, really well. It's beautiful. However, maybe I'm using the wrong brush because when I was applying it with this brush, it wasn't really picking up a lot of product. Maybe we need more of a dense brush. I think that worked better. You need more of a dense brush when you put on these kind of shadows, or I find that really any glitter shimmery shadow, just because you want it to really pack on the color. I used my finger for a second just to see, and it packed on a lot of color as well. A thing that makes me really sad is that when you like dip your like brush or your finger into it, it doesn't look pretty anymore. It kind of just looks like it's obviously been used, but I mean, eyeshadows will do that, it happens. But I'm like kind of sad now because it doesn't look as beautiful anymore. So then on the bottom, I kind of want to go in with Spanked because that color is somehow calling to me and we haven't used that shade yet. So Spanked is the one right on the top right corner. We'll just put it all along the bottom lash line. And then what I want to do is I want to take lace right here. And we're going to take more of a fluffier brush and we're just going to take some, we're going to blend out Spanked on the bottom. So now that we have the bottom finished, we'll highlight. We'll use the little highlighting shade Fair. So we'll use that, that's on the top left corner. So we'll take some of that and we'll kind of pop it on the brow bone. And then pop it on the inner corner a little bit. Oh, that looks nice. Not bad. Okay, so I finished the rest of my makeup. We're seeing the whole thing and my thoughts. So overall, this palette has some really good quality eyeshadows in it. It has beautiful mattes. I honestly want to say the mattes are my favorite in a sort of sense of quality. They have really good pigmentation. I love it. They're easy to blend. You can build it up if you want to. The like pearl glitters, it's a little bit difficult to apply, so you can either use your finger. I find that you get the most pigmentation that way, or you want to use a dense eyeshadow brush to kind of help pick up a little bit more product. I just found that I kind of had to keep dipping into the eyeshadow to get it on, which isn't that bad. I just found that it took me a while to kind of build up that pigmentation. The concealer, I don't think I would use every time, to be honest. It's very sheer and I just like more pigment with my concealer, especially when I'm cutting the crease or even like doing under my brows. It does, I forgot to mention this, it does have one shadow that's like a satin finish, and that one's called Kinky. That one's also really pretty as well. Overall, the price, I feel like it is a little bit pricey for this palette, considering that it's $65. However, I still think it would be a really good palette to have in your collection if you don't have like pink tones or mauve tones. These 4 pearl eyeshadows I've never seen before in any palette. I think that's one of the main things that makes Huda Beauty's palettes very unique and different, is because they have these shadows, and I think these shadows are stunning. If you're more of a natural glam person, this is definitely a really good palette for you. More of a person who likes to experiment but still stay more on like the neutral side, definitely this palette. I think it's a very cute palette. The only drawback for me would just be the price. It seems a little bit expensive for the palette, however it does come with different eyeshadows, so it's kind of like it balances out in a way. So it definitely does make the price worth it because you get so many different quality and texture and finishes of eyeshadows. It's not just all one quality. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys like me trying new products or doing reviews like that, let me know. I'm trying to figure out how to YouTube, basically, so I have a lot of stuff I want to share with you guys. I need to figure this out. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm getting better, I promise. I will be more consistent, but I will see you guys in my next video.